Hey guys, today is going to be a little bit of a news update. Recently on NeoGAF, Luke Smith, one of the guys responsible for Vault of Glass among other things, clarified that the reward economy of House of Wolves will not be the same as the Dark Below. So, what does that mean? When the Dark Below came out, all Vault of Glass gear was immediately replaceable by vendor gear. In games with similar investment systems, you want mudflation, the act of your gear declining in value or quality, to happen gradually. In Destiny, this happened in one day. The Vault of Glass gear could definitely get you into Crota's End, and most of the world-first groups, if not all of them, used primarily Vault of Glass gear. However, the majority of the population felt as if their time in Vault of Glass meant nothing because their gear was so quick to be replaced by vendor items, stuff that only took time to get. In the post, Luke Smith says mistakes like vendor gear invalidating the effort of VOG raiders and upgrading exotics resetting their talents will not be repeated. How they'll end up happening is still unknown, but at least we hopefully won't have this massive mudflation hit right as the expansion is launched. He goes on to talk about the things that they learned from Destiny at launch compared to Destiny in the Dark Below. They buffed the drop rates across the board in Crota's End and gave armor more variety in terms of the bonuses that came on them. You could theoretically hit level 32 much faster, but if you wanted to completely min-max your gear with what you thought was the best, it would take a little more searching. However, the issue now was with Radiant materials being the thing that holds everybody back. Bungie would like fewer barriers to equipping upgrades, and while Bungie has no plans to abandon the shard economy for this set of expansions, they want to remove the barriers between getting a piece of gear and equipping it right away. This issue is seen a lot in MMOs. Most of the time, if you got a piece of gear that wasn't the hugest of upgrades, or was only a couple of item levels above what you had to enchant and optimize that piece of gear before it would end up being better than what you already had. To have this happen in Destiny the way things are right now, you would basically need to ditch the upgrade system completely. You would get a new piece of gear to drop, it would have to be better than a fully upgraded piece of gear that you're already wearing. Now, this happens a lot in lower levels, but at the top tier of gear, this does not happen that often, if at all. I don't really have a solution to that right now, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they go with that. Item budgets will have to greatly expand from expansion to expansion so that you can equip something new that's not upgraded and have it be better than a previous piece of gear that is fully upgraded, while also avoiding the problem of having vendor gear being better than raid gear from a previous tier. By keeping the amount of strength, discipline, and intellect the same where the cap is constantly 271, the only thing you're really upgrading is your light level. Light levels are the strongest contributing factor to power in Destiny. Strength, discipline, and intellect might make you more efficient or more useful, but I don't think they make you much more powerful in the overall scheme of things. Attack values on weapons matter, sure, but not nearly as much as light levels do. There aren't any situations where a slight bump in a stat on a weapon makes you deal 30% more damage, where in regards to the light level system, that situation happens a lot. While we're on the topic of House of Wolves, very recently, a player managed to come across many images of gear and weapons that will supposedly be in the House of Wolves expansion. I've linked the Reddit thread where all of these pictures are posted of said gear and updates. However, it's important to realize that the only official things Bungie has said about the House of Wolves expansion is 1, it's called House of Wolves, and 2, that it exists. Deej responded in the Reddit thread basically saying that a lot of these things are months outdated from a database before the launch of the actual game. Stats and the like are very susceptible to change, and nothing posted in that thread nor any other information not posted by Bungie officially should not be taken as fact. Moving on from that news, in the latest weekly update, Bungie has said that they know that the heavy ammo issues are indeed a thing, and it's going to take a little while before it is fixed due to the way the inventory system works in Destiny. For those who don't know, if you have any gear with the upgrade of increased heavy ammo capacity, whenever you would die, you would end up losing some of that ammo, but if you didn't have the upgrade, you would remain unaffected. Quote, "The basic flaw here is an ordering problem. Our inventory system creates your weapons when your characters spawn. When that happens, it tries to restore the same fraction of ammo that you had when you died. The bug occurred because the weapon is created before capacity modifiers from armor perks are applied, so the persisted fraction yields fewer rounds." End quote. In order to fix this so that it doesn't become a problem again will take a little while to make sure that they don't introduce new bugs or mess up any of the systems that they already have in place. You should definitely check out the rest of the explanation, it's a pretty interesting read. Turns out they can't just hit a button and have everything magically be fixed, who knew? The Bungie Weekly Update is in the description if you'd like to read the rest of the section on the heavy ammo issues, which I highly encourage. Deej also mentioned in the comments that Bungie knows that people want more vault space. They're talking about it, takes time to build. I'm hoping it's coming, but if it is, it's just going to take a little more time. Anyway, guys, that is your little news update. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.